the porpoise view of the front of this boat. This must be what's inside that blue plastic that we saw a moment ago. And notice that that part's wood. What was this thing for? A substantial bumper. So it was banging into something constantly. It was used to carry buoys. There's that long device, we don't know what it is, with the wood sides. But this was a Norwegian attack boat, and then disarmed and changed for coastal use by the Latvians and also by Estonia. Patrol boat. And when we get our ticket to the museum, we can come visit the inside of this boat. It'll be kind of fun. The bottom side of a buoy. Do with a whole bunch of buoys that you can't use. Paint them, stick them on the ground upside down, and guess what? You got a buoy park. Kind of like the candy cane park. Kind of kids' day here, I think, or else really a lot of schools shutting down for this experience. Copy of the first submarine built in Estonia. 1853 to 1856, during the Crimean War, the engineer developed this wooden submarine. Two of the crew members operated the large flywheel. By that I think they mean with a bicycle type of mechanism. The fourth crewman worked the pump and explosive. And the other man manned the compass. Actually, it was never put into operation because it leaked, number one, kind of fatal to a submarine, and they really couldn't control the steering that well. Knock, an engineer's attempt to create something novel. It led to much, much greater things. Around from there to the what I would call the back, it's actually the front. Now inside the museum with a $14 price tag, believe it or not. I go upstairs to begin the experience. Now inside this magnificent reconstruction and rehabilitation of this building into this museum, opening in 2012. Built by the Germans, of course. I'm guessing this particular route we're on right now gives us this high view, and then we can take different views from that area over there, or lower views on the first floor. Museum strategy. This is an interpretive board for this old ship here, down below, that we get to see. It probably developed on the island of Sarame and was built by locals in the 16th century. Presuming that I could be wrong, that the metal outline skeleton indicates the original profile of the boat, capable with only one mast and open, no deck, primarily a local use, hauling local goods like timber and construction materials. Splendid concept, isn't it? Certainly adds drama. We have guides for the kids so they can actually apparently indicates a ice boat built in 1981 by a man that then caught on and became a national sport. It's referred to as a children's ice boat, although that one looks much more than a child. Border buoys. These were river buoys, some of which were built in Tartu. As we move along, then on the other side is that full-length submarine. Looks like a little kid's ice sailboat, but still that thing would scream along. It's a far more professional units. the purpose of having 2 crew members would be. This is competition class. Now there it looks like you could have 2 people doing something, because it looks like it's got 2 wheels. Actually, there's 3 wheels on there, which is interesting. Be interesting to learn more about that. Classic of its type. It looks like a homemade or perhaps a primitive ice boat. It was called a coastal ice sleigh. It was in the Gulf of Parnu in the 18th and 19th centuries. Fastest means of transportation for border guards on Lake Peipus in the 1930s. Yet the speeds of 80 kilometers. Fast do those boats go. Small coastal boat built 2011, not that old. Doesn't have a keel, more like a kayak rowboat in that sense, or river kayak rowboat. Boats of reasonably recent vintage were used for seal hunting. There are a couple of small boats that look like they're carved out of single logs. Not that old, but they may reflect a traditional design. Made of one log, they were heated with fire and with water to make them softer, so that they could then be spread out to fit the design of those inner structure supports, if you will. If these buoys are in any way designed to allow a human to slide into them, those ports don't look quite wide enough. But I mean, in an emergency, the mass escape from Estonia's to Sweden in 1944 to escape the ravages of the Nazis. Presumably some of these quote-unquote traditional fishing boats were also used. I believe are land or water mines. See the little protrusions. If you bumped up against those, that was all over. All sailing boats. Don't know if these were used in some kind of competition. That's a pretty sleek little rig, isn't it? When I was agile, I might have been able to sail something like that. Referred to as floating marks. Red right returning, and green would be on the left side when returning. But they ensure safe navigation. A little runabout. All this would be replaced by plastic in a 1930s boat, but imagine the Chris Craft speedboats of the day. Always applaud those who found sailing to be an exciting, pleasurable hobby and became expert at it. I never, and of course, used in polar expedition explorations. Detrimental part of this design for exploration was the pointy nose. You couldn't drag it over the snow easily, it'd just dig in. Called spar buoys. This one was a Russian novel because it had a light on it, which is strange. I thought they all did. An old Swedish wooden spar buoy. You'll learn more about buoys in this museum than you ever thought there was to know. Above us we have a seaplane that we can't get to see without a guide. This is interactive. The circles indicate what we can take a closer look at. Or at least get more information on, if we spoke the language.